So now we'll actually solve this quadratic by graphing. So first thing I'm going to do, this is factorable, so I'm just going to factor it to make it a little bit easier when I'm graphing. So factors of 6, that's subtracting me 5, would be a positive 6 and a negative 1. So now I know that we have, if I were to solve it, use that zero product property, it's going to be x is negative 6 for my roots and positive 1. Just going to put that there so I can graph it. The other thing I'm going to do is find that axis symmetry, use that to help me graph. So x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So I get the axis of symmetry being at negative 2.5. We can also find the y-intercept. The y-intercept where x is 0 would be at negative 6. All right, so let me just do that negative 2.5 for my axis symmetry. All right, y-intercept 0, negative 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's 2.5 away, so I'm going to go 2.5 the other way. All right, and the roots are negative 6 and positive 1. So negative 6 and positive 1. Okay. I don't know what the vertex is. I know it's somewhere here. I don't need that to make my graph, so I'm just going to sketch that. And notice that I am going to make a solid line through that because it's less than or equal to. So we want to know where these values are less than or equal to 0. So that's going to be, and I'm going to use some shading here, these are the values where it's less than 0. All of these values in my parabola is less than 0. So let's look at those solutions, those roots we found. Those are going to be telling us what they are. And it's between these 2 points that are less than 0. So we're going to say here that this value, negative 6, is less than x, which is less than positive 1. All right, so now I'm just going to reevaluate it. Oh, I notice this is less than or equal to. So instead of it just being less than 0, it has to be less than or equal to. So that means my symbols are going to be less than or equal to. So this is in Set Builder. If I wanted to write it back in interval notation from what we learned earlier in the year, which you do need to make sure you know for like the midterm, interval notation, it would be your square braces, negative 6 is the lower end and positive 1 is the higher end. So again, we graph the function. I factored it to make sure I could know those 2 numbers that are going to be necessary for my set builder or interval notation. Find your axis of symmetry. It opens up. Where is it less than or equal to 0? All down here. So that's how I graph that. And then I have my 2 solutions to help me know that it's going to occur in between those 2 values there.